I've forgotten that completely. You told me? Might be, if you're saying so confidently, you might have told, but I have totally forgotten. Pass the information. Completely blank.
Yeah.
Because the neurons are not pass the information only. And the new neurons, they just come in fresh. They're ready to, you give me the action plan. I'm ready to execute.
Okay.
So many times our children are not being taught how to create that action plan, how to roll on that action plan, and how to welcome the failure.
Okay, absolutely.
Because welcoming failure is very important. If we knew that I'm going to fail, why I will take action? Right. I don't know whether I'm going to be successful or become a failure.
So that particular part, I can definitely relate to a lot at that point of time, because growing up was always a new life, a new challenge for me as well. So a lot of times what happened, people ask me, they're like, "Arey, I remember when I was, this age, I remember I was like this." I'm like, I have no bloody idea of how I was back when I was at that, because I was consistently, creating new memories. Today's topic is going to be very vast. Well, I'm going to be talking about something which is only 1.4 kgs or 3.5 pounds approximately. And I'm talking about our brain, the fight between the brain and the heart. Well, we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about the 100 billion neurons that your brain has and how the new ones keep coming on and the old one keeps dying. What I'm going to talk about today is that how, when the old ones die, do they pass on the memory to the new ones so you remember what you're supposed to remember? Or are you going to forget like I just did? How to remember, how to make sure you use the 100% capacity of the brain of what you know, how to memorize things, how to be unique in your own way, how to do networking, how to delay the aging process for our senior citizens. Everything will be covered in here with lots of tips and tricks. A lot of fun with Dr. Sushant Mysorekar, who himself is the CEO of Brain Rhyme and something that he works across as Neuroscience Strategy Analyst. Make sure to stay tuned till the very end. Welcome, Doctor. You're Dr. Sushant Mysorekar. You're a Neuro Strategy Analyst. You're a CEO of Brain Rhyme, and it's a company from Singapore. And you're working on to getting a branch in India as well. Tell me more about it. What is Brain Rhyme? And I know that you guys work with neuroscience, because there's a lot that I've read through your profile, and neuroscience is such a vast topic, but I would want you to elaborate more that how it's, I'm sure everybody knows that it's the study of brain, but how do you help it and what is it in a broader perspective?
First of all, thanks, Mr. Kabir, for inviting me for our podcast. Neuroscience, as you rightly mentioned, it's a very vast subject altogether. Just tell you in short, neuro plus science. So neuro are the cells in our brain, and science, physics, chemistry, biology.
Right.
So combining the strategies of physics, the measurements, the chemical bonds, the chemical, in movies also we have chemical locha.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and biology, there are a lot of terminologies which are being not regularly used, but needs to be remembered and recalled for a long period of time.
Right.
So how to combine all those things into strategies, into tools by using system, by certain techniques. I might do copyright techniques.
Okay.
So how to combine those and recall a lot of information by using certain skill sets.
Okay.
So this is what we do in neuroscience.
Neuroscience. Great. And okay, so how does this work in neuroscience and cognitive abilities here? Now, because when you're talking about recalling and you're talking about how to remembering things, right? So I'm guessing there's some kind of interconnection between the neuroscience and the cognitive abilities that we currently possess.
Yes.
I mean, some people use it at the highest peak and some people are still learning to how to use it.
True.
So how are they interrelated and how does it work together?
See, memory is a very short part, but very important part. We have to remember things at the right time, at the right place. So connecting memory, there are a lot of aspects connecting with memory. Your decision making, your thinking skills, your strategies, your analyzing abilities, your logical reasoning, your creativity. So all these combine together and connect with memory. It plays a very crucial role in any decision making process.
Okay.
Because for a student, he has to decide what to read, what not to read, how to grasp the information, and how to recall at the final during the examinations. So all these things combined together. How you can strategize your thought process. You're connecting connections with the neurons. There are different lobes.
Right.
As we have different departments, there are different lobes. So each part of our brain is connected with the different lobes, and how effectively you can use that lobes, that really makes a matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I really enjoy the fact that the way you explained it. But what about the fact that, you said that कि अपन पढ़ाई करते हैं सारा, we're studying so much, remembering the right things at the right time. But it happens where you want to remember something, like remembering a name of a movie, right? And then at that time when you want to, you know it, but you cannot remember it. So how does that work, right? And especially with the students, like, लोगों को पता है stress इतना रहता है, they're like studying, रट्टा मार. But then at the end of the day, what happens is like when जब ये लोग पहुंचते हैं and in the examination center, they know the answer, but they keep forgetting it. That's so somehow the stress part is a bit of a
Yes.
involvement in there. How is that ability, and how can one conquer over that particular part?
Okay, wonderful question. See, now what happens when the neurons are connected? They are interconnected. There are 100 billion neurons,
Wow.
and we hardly use all of them.
Okay.
The reason behind it, Albert Einstein was asked that how much percentage do you use, and the answer was roughly some 5 to 10%. And then we ask ourselves, the scientists are using 5-10, how much we are using.
Right.
So I put a disclaimer over here. This is my answer. We use 100%
Right.
of what we know.
What we know.
There are many things. There are very small things which we know, and the universe is filled of a lot of information and learnings. So combining what we know, we use completely what we know. So our neurons are still in a mode wherein they are ready to grab the information, provided we give them some information.
Right.
We give them that knowledge base. We give them that resources. So as we start progressing, as we learn, as we read, as we hear, as we feel and connect with people, there are a lot of learnings which are happening.
Okay.
Now in this learning process, everything is stored in the memory.
Okay.
We have a subconscious brain which is registering all the information. The conscious brain filters the information. I'm consciously talking with you. There are a lot of things around over here. Consciously, I can see them, but I'm not registering them.
Right.
So whatever you register, that goes into it, it filters down the line, and then it moves forward. And answering your question, there are sometimes we forget that information.
Right.
That information is still there. Sometimes we become blank because of stress,
Right.
because of anxiety, because of fear of unknown. What will happen if I don't clear this exam? What will happen? What will my parents say? Or my teacher? The stress which is there, the pressure cooker which is there,
Absolutely.
which is building up.
Yeah, just right here.
So I appeal to all the parents: don't put a pressure cooker, put it on the gas, don't put it on a child.
Absolutely.
It's meant for that.
Well said. It's definitely required as of time when the academics are so high. We'll get to that topic. But the interesting fact that you just told that, Albert Einstein was asked how much percentage of brain does he use, and he said 5 to 10%. He said 5 to 10%. And I loved how you put it in a perspective that, we use 100% of the brain of what we know, right? Now, coming to the factor, have you seen that movie Lucy by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that she gets into that, she gets some kind of drugs,
Yes.
and it's a synthetic drug, and when she's absorbing it, she's starting to use her brain to the highest capacity, and eventually that when she reaches 100%, she's actually disappeared,
Yes.
and she's like, I'm everywhere, So how much that is true, and how much one can actually tap into that particular enhancement of using more than 5 to 10% of your brain, not what you know, but registering more things of how you can get into remembering everything. Like, let's say photographic memory.
Right.
Some people, they don't even study, like a friend of mine, he was telling me about his childhood friend. He's like, अरे वो तो वो पढ़ाई नहीं करता था, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ खाली देखेगा, उसको सब याद हो जाएगा, और वो नीचे से बोलेगा एग्जाम के टाइम पर क्रिकेट खेलने आओ, मेरी मम्मी उसको गाली देगी, because he remembered it. He's like, I remember, he's a doctor, right? So how can we enhance our brain, or do you only need drugs for that?
Not at all. You can enhance at the most capacity which you have.
Okay.
Right. I always say that interest is the mother of memory,
Right.
and attention is the father of memory.
Okay.
And all others are cousins. So you can say your concentration, your focus, they are all cousins.
Right.
So when you are interested in a particular subject and you're passionate about it,
Hmm.
then automatically your neurons get activated
Okay.
and help you.
Right.
They are ready to put forward. You need to take action. Because a
Right.
lot of things we read a lot. We know now this motivation lectures, everything. We know everything. There is somebody, a coach, who guides you that now you know this, but how to apply it, you don't know. Or you don't want to do it. So he pushes.
Okay.
So you require a mentor to push that. And your neurons are ready to run. But you say, no, hold, wait. The 1, 2, 3. 3 नहीं बोला है.
हाँ, 3 के पहले भाग रहे हैं. I think
And
आपका brain ही सुन लेता
And
है
then
कि
you
three.
overhear that 3 and you stop. Others
right,
are running and you're just waiting.
Right.
Waiting for that movement. That 3 is the movement.
Three is the moment. Right.
So sometimes you hear it, sometimes it's a delay in hearing, and sometimes you don't hear only. So action is the prime important thing which you need to take.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, there are neurons who are active right now. Whatever actions we are doing,
Right.
the neurons are playing part in
Right,
it.
right.
There are certain neurons which are not being acted, and there are certain neurons which are dead, which are not being used for several years.
Okay.
So they die.
Right, okay.
So the process is always every day 10,000 neurons die,
Okay.
and a new neurons come in.
Okay. So
And
as the old one goes in, the new one comes in.
Right. And sometimes the information is not passed on. Let's say a very important, crucial information there, which is not passed on, and it is gone. Let's say that I've forgotten that completely. You told me? Might be. If you're saying so confidently, you might have told, but I have totally forgotten because the neurons have not passed the information.
Blank.
Completely
Right.
blank.
Yeah.
Because the neurons have not passed the information only. And the new neurons, they just come in fresh. They're ready to. You give me the action plan. I'm ready to execute.
Okay.
So many times our children are not being taught how to create that action plan, how to roll on that action plan, and how to welcome the failure.
Okay. Absolutely.
Because welcoming failure is very important. If we knew that I'm going to fail, why I will take action?
Right.
I don't know whether I'm going to be successful or become a failure.
So that particular part, I can definitely relate to a lot at that point of time, because growing up was always a new life, a new challenge for me as well. So a lot of times what happened, people ask me, they're like, I remember when I was, this age, I remember I was like this. I'm like, I have no bloody idea of how I was back when I was at that, because I was consistently, creating new memories. I was first in India, I was in Mumbai, then I lost my father, I moved to America. In America, I was like a completely different culture and, learning so many things. Coming back again to India is like processing so many things. It's like, I think my neurons have not passed any information whatsoever. So, I really love the fact how you said that, we don't need drugs, we need passion. So if you have passion, then if you enjoy to do something that you do, then it automatically makes you remember things.
See, learning is a process.
Right.
Yeah. You need to what to learn, how to learn. In a class there are 50 students. There's one teacher. One student is first in the class. Another student is last in the class.
Right.
There's no fault of teacher. Neither there is a fault of the child who is last, because he is not trained on how to remember things,
Right.
how to recall them, how to study, how to put them in a framework so that he can remember.
Right.
So there are mainly 3 types of learners.
Okay.
A visual learner,
Okay.
who can visualize the things. So when teacher is explaining, he visualizes, creates a story. He creates scenes. He puts them into a platform, and then he remembers very nicely.
Right.
The second type of learner is an audio learner, where he sits in the class, he listens to a teacher very minutely, every sentence, every word which has been talked. And at the time of the examination, he remembers those words.
Right.
He remembers those examples, and he writes those immediately. So these are auditory learners.
Right.
And there are third type, which is kinesthetic learners.
Okay.
Unless until they do it, teacher, however good she explains, unless until I do it,
They practically
work on it, practically write the answers, practically understand and write it, they are not able to write in the examination. So one needs to understand that my child, whether he's a visual, he's a auditory, whether it's kinesthetic, and then you can see.
Okay.
I'll give you a classic example of mine only.
Yeah.
When I was a student, I was in 8th standard, and my mother told my dad and mother, they put me into classes. And the teacher was a kinesthetic learner. At that time, I didn't know this because at that time, these trainings were not available. So the teacher said that, no, you have to write. I wrote the answer once. There was some mistakes. She told, again, you write it. Again, the second mistake. Literally, I wrote 5 times, and then my answer was right.
Correct. Okay.
The next day, I said that I don't like to write because I'm a visual learner.
Okay.
I can visualize, I can create stories. I'm good in creativity.
Okay.
So I can visualize those things and put it.
Okay.
And in my own words, in my own perspective.
Right.
And the next day I said, I don't want to go to tuitions.
It's like she doesn't teach correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So teacher was not bad. Teacher's style was different and my style was
Your
different.
style was different. But it becomes, I think this is now it's coming in perspective where back in days when we were kids, like as I remember, I think I was more of a practical learner always. I think I would be in between the practical and the
We have all the 3 types of learning.
Yeah.
One thing is dominant.
So I think I'm more of a
my-
practical person. Yeah.
My visual was dominant. Kinesthetic was okay.
Okay.
That's why I was able to write that 5 times. Otherwise, I would have
You wouldn't be able
surrendered.
to. No. I was able to do it as in terms of I have to. So anything that I particularly do, I remember only if I do it.
Okay.
It's like
So more of kinesthetic learning.
Right. So I always, and this is something I figured out later in my life, that I'm very good tinker. I can tinker with anything that I want. So
Okay.
you can bring me a laptop. You can bring me. I'm pretty sure I can put the fridge back together. Like
like my son. My son, when he was in 7th standard, he decided that he is going to go for electronics.
Okay.
At that time only, my laptop, I used to give it to him. Fridge, give it to him. TV, as if the mechanic is going to come. You do whatever you want. And this way he learned everything.
Right,
and
right.
today he has finished his MTech
Wow.
in micro sensor technology.
Okay.
And tomorrow he's flying to Poland for his PhD.
Okay, great. I wish him best of luck, and
Thanks.
many congratulations to you for that. Absolutely. There's such a vast topic, and how can one improve their cognitive abilities? This is something like we spoke about 3 different kind of learners. There are visual learners, there are practical learners, and there was
Auditory
learners, right? So how can one, or parents especially, because this is when it comes to their kids, like of course it won't be possible for the kid to know कि मुझे ये आता है, right? How can a parent understand this particular thing about their kid? Is there some kind of test that they have to go through, or is there some kind of thing that they can do to understand कि हाँ मेरे बच्चे को ये आता है और ऐसे करने वाला है?
Okay. So I'll put it into 3 phases.
Okay.
The first phase is understand, because the parents are living with the children. So understanding while talking with him, having an observation with him, what exactly is he interested. Now, as I told about my elder son, my younger son is into music.
Okay.
So he didn't want to study. He didn't want to pursue his education. But in Indian context, we explained him that this is very important.
Right.
You need to have education so that you raise your bars.
Right. Yes.
And he finished his education, and now he's completely passionate. He's doing sound engineering.
Okay.
And he's a musician.
Nice.
So this is the first step of understanding what a child is.
Right.
Let's say in the second phase, the parent is not able to judge exactly what he wants to do, or the same thing happened with child also. There are a lot of opportunities today.
Right.
Where exactly I should go, so that tomorrow in long term, because the thinking process is different.
Right.
The child is processing different. The parents are processing different. So there are a lot of psychometric tools. They can go for it. They can check with there are a lot of available tools.
Okay. Right.
So MBT is there, and psychometric assessment is there. So these tools, if they can do it, there is some creative assessments. We do the creative assessment. We do the subconscious assessment, wherein we give them some object, let's say house, a tree, and we tell them to draw. So based on their subconscious mind, how they draw, based on their drawing, we come to know what is his inclination towards it. It can be into career, it can be into relationship, it can be into marriage. So there are a lot of aspects into it. In terms of education, what are the skills which he has, and skills which he is ready to develop, and skills he does not want to develop.
Possibly turn into a passion and make his life easier.
Right. There are certain skills which some people don't want to develop.
Right.
Now, talking about my children, my elder son, he's passionate in maths.
Yeah.
The other says, I don't want maths.
Okay. Completely.
I'm happy with my music.
Okay,
right?
Completely, yeah.
So, why I should force him that, why don't you try learning maths? I'll give you a best maths teacher. There's no point. He's a best teacher, but he's not that best learner.
Best learner.
So, why to force and combine these two people and make a mess out of it? So rather than ask him
what he's doing,
rather than ask him what are the other skills which he wants to learn.
Right.
So my son, I said I want to learn songs to sing. I said, yeah, this is complementary and supplementary to your guitar.
Yeah, absolutely. I really wish that a lot of parents can learn something out of this, because a lot of times what happens ki apna, like you said, because of Indian thing that we have, where बच्चे को पढ़ना जरूरी है. No matter what, नहीं तेको पढ़ना ही है. इधर मेरा लड़का डॉक्टर बनेगा, मेरी लड़की नहीं, मेरा लड़का इंजीनियर बनेगा, लड़की डॉक्टर बनेगी. That system has been so crazy right now. कि पढ़ना जरूरी है. Right. I'll give you a bit of a thing about myself as well. Right. So what I'm doing right now is more of a passion for me. I absolutely love chatting to people. I love talking. I love gathering the knowledge through people. But in this aspect, I have to do something which is completely I've always avoided for all my life, right? All my life. I've never wanted to open up a book, and I didn't want to study. I didn't want to learn. I never wanted to read, right? And now I'm in a profession which is technically my passion. But then now I have to do this, because if I'm not doing that, I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you.
Kabir, let me share with you one thing. While traveling, just I think 3 days back on a long trip to Pune, I was listening to one of your podcasts, and I could see that passion and the way you are questioning and the way the other person is. Really, it was very interesting. I couldn't hold it. It was, I think, 1 hour podcast.
Yeah, it's
Normally people don't listen to such big podcasts.
Right, absolutely.
But I really loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad. So this brings me to another topic of the thing where you said that the 1 hour podcast and you were like you still heard it, right? Now I've been getting a lot of people telling me, "अरे यार तेरा podcast तो 1-1.5 घंटे का है, बाप रे हम तो देख ही नहीं सकते, सुन ही नहीं सकते." मैं बोला हाँ, I'm working on it. I'm bringing segments where it's going to be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, some topics. There's going to be 3 minutes, 2 minutes, some topics and shorts and reels तो है. अभी 30 सेकंड से कम तो मैं बना भी नहीं सकता हूँ. मेरा टॉपिक ही कभी-कभी मेरा एडिटर मेरे को बोलता है, अरे बोले सर इसका 30 seconds करूँ कैसा? Possible ही नहीं है. So because our attention span has come to literally 30 to 40 seconds, and when it comes to doing something right now, like let's just take the thing of podcast. So as a profession, we are into marketing as well, right? So when we are running, we're doing kind of reels. It is said that you have to hook your viewer in the first 4 seconds. If you don't hook your viewers in the first 4 seconds, they will scroll.
See, because again, this topic comes to the neuroscience part itself.
Right.
Because the cells are so active.
Yeah.
Within 4 seconds, they have to decide whether I should continue or go to the next one.
Right.
Right. So previously, the time span was, now attention span also was 9 to 16 minutes. And today it has come to 3 to 4 minutes. Wherein the children are also not able to, now majorly when a lot of parents come to me and they ask me that the major problem is the attention span. My child is not able to sit for a longer time. My child is not able to read for a longer time. He's not able to grasp it. He's brilliant. He's intelligent. But because of this small thing, he is not able to grasp the information very fast.
They keep losing their track or they keep zoning out.
Yes.
Is it something? Is this something that related to ADHD as we're talking about, or this is something a normal child can also do?
Yeah. See, ADD and ADHD. This is completely a little bit different part altogether.
Okay.
Attention deficit and attention deficit hyperactive student.
Okay.
ADHD. HD is hyperactive. So when a child of such a case, when they come to me, I first analyze them. What are the areas, whether it's particular for one subject or it's for all the subjects.
Right.
Or maybe they are exclusively working on certain aspect which they don't like. And there the attention span gets diverted, or in regular conversation also it happens.
Right.
So understanding this is very, very important.
Right.
And then we come to know whether it's ADD, ADHD, or there are certain areas wherein he needs some skill sets.
Okay.
Because cognitive behavior is a part of your thinking skills.
Okay.
Because we have around 50,000 thoughts a day. And when these thoughts are moving, we can't control it. I cannot hold it. Only in one aspect, when I sneeze, there is no thought. There is only one case wherein we don't get thoughts. Otherwise, the complete thought process is going on. So how to captivate, how to capture those thoughts and use it to the best of ability. We have a lot of creative ideas.
Okay.
We have a creative brain, we have logical brain, we have a reasoning brain. There are so many brains and so many minds. If you go on listing, the whole day will go.
Possible
right?
to do that. Yeah.
But to put it in a nutshell, your creative brain is not being used.
Right.
Because unfortunately, it is not being taught anywhere.
Right.
So we emphasize more on the children between the age of 3 to 9 years. How you can maximize your creative skills and your thinking process.
Okay.
Because I personally see every child is a genius.
Absolutely.
We all are genius.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, nobody has told us. For me, after 35 years, somebody told me that you are a genius and started my work. And today I am a genius.
Yeah.
I can show it through my profile. It's not a bouncing on my profile.
Right.
But we all are genius. Only we need to find that niche in us so that we can show that this is that area wherein my capability and abilities are much more beyond.
Right.
And I am unique.
Okay.
Each one of us are unique in one or the other aspect. Some find it at an early age. Some find it at a very the 60 years.
60 years.
KFC.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It took 60 years.
Exactly. That's
and the same example I told about my son, 7 years.
Right. Exactly.
For me, it took 35 years. My first mentor who told me that, Sushant, corporate is not your lifestyle. You give training in corporate. You're a trainer. But get into education.
Right.
So there where after my around 7 to 8 years of corporate experience, I got into education.
Wow, so much of a difference that you came across. Major lifestyle changes that we're talking
so
about.
After 35, I got into education.
Okay.
Before that, I have worked around 7-8 years into corporate.
You don't look day older than 36, my friend.
I always say that I'm 18 with 3 decades of experience.
Oh, wonderful. That's awesome. That's your kabirrvani for the day. That's absolutely great. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Okay, so coming to the topic of attention span, right? So you know what, this is perfect. So now we were talking about attention span, all right, and then from here we got distracted towards a different topic, right? We completely left the attention span, and now we are talking about completely different things. Now the brain loves that, right? Now it loves
Absolutely.
distracting you.
Absolutely.
So and it kind of like it gives you the feeling of having your favorite food, that
True.
and it's just a distraction. So why is that? And coming back to the fact where attention span, we'll have to talk about that. It's a very important topic that we need to work across. So let's get onto the attention span first.
Okay.
So attention span, we're getting it to almost 40 seconds to many people, and 4 seconds when it comes to reels, right? How does one realize that, okay, I need to work on my attention span to a particular subject that we have? Or how can they continue practicing it? Is there a way of practicing it?
Yeah. If you recall, in school days, teacher used to come and say, "Attention, students, attention."
Yes. Yeah.
So she has assumed that you might be in your different modes.
Different word. Yeah.
And when that word attention comes, everybody attentive and says, "I'm going to announce a news."
Right.
So we all love stories. We all, as you rightly mentioned, food.
Right.
We all love to hear different things. We all love to hear music.
Yeah.
So what we love, your attention span is builds up over there.
Okay.
So for student, I always tell them, if you want to have your attention span and work on your productivity,
Right.
because a lot of students say, "Sir, I've worked for 1 hour. 1 hour I've studied." I ask him, "What is productively? How many hours you have studied? How many minutes you have studied?" Then they say, "Nahi. Then I've not worked for 1 hour."
I'm not.
So instead of that, let's you decide. Every child has their own attention span.
Okay.
You decide that, okay, 10 minutes or maybe four pages or maybe after one chapter. So slowly you can take a leap. Let's say somebody has a huge so I would like to give a straightforward answer to this for parents.
Right.
So who are listening to this podcast, let your child decide that to start with, let's say 2 pages. Take a break, then 2 pages. So slowly, then 3 pages, 4 pages, then a chapter. So like this, let's say 15-20 minutes, take a small break.
Right.
Then again 5 minutes break, again 20 minutes. Again 5 minutes break, 20 minutes. Then let him have there's a small snacks, a 10 minutes break.
Right.
So like this, if he is working for, let's say, 4 hours, so productive hours are at least 50% of it, 2 hours.
Wonderful.
And that's
Okay.
completely productive.
Exactly, and that actually has you higher percentage of what you're
It doesn't
doing.
strain your brain.
Exactly. And
It
you're
doesn't
remembering
make
things as well then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I told you, there are compartments.
Right.
So whatever information they read, it goes and sits in that particular compartment, and he knows that this compartment. Now we also see, when you open up the cupboard, we know that my shirts are here, my t-shirts are here, my jeans are here. So even if light goes, I just open my cupboard.
You know exactly where things are. Okay, so that helps your attention getting better and better. Now, can a technology right now, because it's surrounded with technology, like people right now, I think when they go to school, they don't ask you तुम्हारा curriculum क्या है, they ask you तुम्हारा tab कौन सा है,
True.
So having so many technology around, and you cannot really curse the technology because they have
Absolutely.
made our life much easier. It's
Absolutely.
how you use it.
Absolutely.
You can, some people call the TV a devil box, where else you can be, going through this
Discovery
wonderful
Channel.
podcast. Yeah.
Discovery Channel podcast.
Or they can go into kabirrvani,
Right.
right? So they
True.
can learn so much about it. They can be listening to our podcast as well. But what we decide is, but then we blame the technology for it. Now, having a technology around, how can parents ensure that they're making sure that the attention span of their kids are not leaning more towards their technology? Basically, technology is important. You cannot take it away from them.
Absolutely.
So what can they do? Like how you said that when they're setting to study, so make sure that the productivity is more than 50%. So you can do 20 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of break, or 20 minutes of studying, 5 minutes of break, or 4 pages and break. Is there a way that they can put the same thing to technology as well?
See, there is no one answer.
Okay.
As there are different, we live in different society. The family culture is different. The family structure is different. So I think the family should come together. They should decide which school of thoughts they need to debate on it, because the child's school of thoughts is different, the parent's school of thoughts are different, the grandparents' thoughts are different. Because I can confidently say, because all these 3 generations, I'm fortunate to be with these 3 generations.
Wonderful.
So my father is 93.
Oh wow. Okay.
I am, as I said, 18 plus 3 decades of experience.
Right.
And my son, one is 19 and other is 23.
Okay.
So looking at all the 3, what we have done, I'll just share what we have done. So technology, yeah, as rightly mentioned, I have my own, because They don't know when I should take my WhatsApp and check where I'm going to get messages, where I should reply. They don't know. I don't know my son's priorities. Maybe he is watching some podcast and he wants those information. My father wants to listen to the news channel, or maybe he is not that keen because those generation, they are not so keen on technology.
Right.
So my father is not that keen on technology.
Okay.
But if I see me and my son, there is a huge difference.
Right.
He's operating 2 hours continuously. Where I say that okay, after a few minutes, my eyes starts burning.
Shading, yeah.
I leave the phone, but immediately I remember though, no, yeah, some important message might have come, or maybe I'm expecting some call. So immediately I keep this on my lap.
Right.
So we cannot say that we should not use it,
Right.
but at the same time, as I said, that let's all come together as a family or as a near friends and discuss that what needs to be done,
Uh-huh.
where we can have our me time, where we can have our family time,
Family time, yeah.
and where we can have technology time, and where we can have a TP.
Understood.
So if we decide all these things and then work on it, I think the life will be much more simpler.
Much more simpler. Yeah. And I think
Let's not blame the technology. Let's
Absolutely.
not blame the parents. Let's not blame the children. Because nowadays I see a lot of children late night they study, and we as I used to get up at my age. People they used to get up at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. I also love to get up at 3 o'clock and study. Nighttime my shutdown it happens at 10:30. But they are well active till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then they go for sleep and they wake up at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
Right.
That's natural. I
This is
don't
how
I don't
think the
blame
life
them.
has become in this
Yeah. So we need to also go along with the time. We need to understand children. We need to give them that time. We need to give them their space and let them enjoy their life.
Right. Absolutely.
As far as they know what they are doing, they are utilizing. See, night is there for sleeping. That is old days
Old thing, yes,
proverb or thought process. They say that night is there for relaxing, discussing. We all meet at night, and nighttime is our friends' time.
Right.
Perfectly okay. We go for a pub. The pubs are open.
Right.
The malls are open.
Nowadays the food joints are
If
open
you
at
go
like
in
3, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
if you go abroad, the malls are open till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Right.
They
Absolutely.
are completely busy the whole day, and the ladies also go for shopping in malls. The students they go on this thing enjoy at 3 o'clock. They have their dinner at 3 o'clock. It's okay. So the acceptance is very very important. What I feel.
Right.
So we should not feel that नहीं मेरे time पे ऐसा था और बाबूजी के time पे ऐसा था.
वो चलेगा नहीं.
Oh, time था good, happy. We are also happy. They are also happy. Let them also enjoy. Let's all
Absolutely.
enjoy our own times.
You know, there's a character in Jetalal say हमारे ज़माने में. You know what I'm talking about. So that is there. You know, like it's so many things. That's a whole vast topic that we can talk about. But you know, I really appreciate you saying that. You know, we can naturally have our me time. We can have our own personal time that we're working on. We can have our me and TP time. There's also do one more thing that they can do is that you know a family friend of mine. They have a rule, right? So he has 3 kids, and you know, of course, husband and wife. So when they sit, so family time is no matter what, dinner and lunch they do it together. Mostly dinner, where you know the husband is always at home as well. So they sit, so they have this called the little cage thingy that they have got, where everybody has to submit their phone,
Oh,
even the parents.
wonderful.
So even the parents have submitted. Only difference is that the key is with the parents,
Okay.
and only phone that is on loud is the parents.
Okay.
Because if there is some kind of emergency situation or something like that, but nobody has their phone. So that 30 or 40 minutes of the dinner time that they're having together, it's a family time. They're talking about how their day went, you know, what they do.
Absolutely.
So it was like that particular connection.
Absolutely. That's a need because we all also we share these moments.
Absolutely. Because nowadays what has happened, right? You know, kids आज की तारीख में बोले अरे यार ये तो ये देखेगा नहीं तो खाएगा ही नहीं. So आज वो फोन लगा के
True,
बैठ
true.
जाते हो बच्चा खाते रह रहे
True,
बच्चा
true,
खाते
true,
रह रहे. One of my other podcasts I had asked this question where you know उसका क्या करने है. So what she very beautifully explained was तुम खाना खाते खाते क्या करते हो. So what you're
Right,
doing,
absolutely.
your kid is going to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So if
They're
you're
going
not
to
doing
replicate it.
they're replicating it. So if you're not doing it, then they're not doing it as well. So I'm glad that you know we got into this wonderful conversation that how attention span can be made better by giving a proper time in the schedule in that particular and
Absolutely.
not blaming the technology.
Absolutely.
And especially the most important part, this is for every parent that don't let your kid run in the rat race and tell them that if you don't win, then you'll be like a broken anda. Right? That's the most
True.
important part.
This is a very good point you mentioned over here. I'll share a wonderful story about what my son told. He was MTech, doing MTech with DIIT, and he shared me one classic story. See, normally when all the students they sit together, they discuss about the projects and all these things. So while discussing, they were discussing if any project fails. They used to tell why that project has failed. They used to do a research on that. They used to debate on that, and all the others used to help him. That okay, what is that which failed? How we can help you? Because everybody has their own projects. Everybody is busy in the project, but still taking out time for that person, so they also learn a new technology from that. So it's a combination of learning technology, discussion, debates, connecting with each other, networking with each other, helping the friends and family, and it builds a very concrete example for others.
Right.
That let's get all collaborate together and work in a group.
Right.
Because these now today what I have seen is these words have just a words, networking, collaboration, this blah blah blah. But how many of you are really doing it? How
Exactly.
many of you are really applying it? So such stories, when I hear such stories, I would love to share these stories.
Yeah.
Because today and tomorrow we can also be a part of that. When the friends sit together, let's not discuss about the friend who is not there. Let's not uska tang nahi khechenge.
Right.
Let's try to okay, what is the challenges you have in your life? Can I be a part wherein I can help you out?
Right.
So maybe he will say that अरे यार मेरे को Java नहीं आता, Chat GPT नहीं आता है, और इसलिए मेरा I feel that I will lose my job. So I said, why don't you sit with me for 2 hours? I will teach you Chat GPT.
Exactly.
Maybe you can save somebody's job.
True. Agreed. And that also helps you create the new neurons in your brain, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because that's something you're doing.
So whatever
out of
we
what
are
you're doing,
completely
exactly.
talking, we are working on those 100 billion neurons,
Right.
which are just sitting idle. अरे give me work. So you are giving work, yeah. Please come to me. I will teach ChatGPT जो मेरा knowledge में है.
At
वो
least
उसका
आप
दूसरे
सामने वाले को सिखा रहे हो.
he will say अरे ये ना मैंने book में पढ़ा था. So you also get some additional knowledge. अरे इसका ना addition ये ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
Something new you learn.
So the other neurons who is just listening, he gets some more inputs. He gets active into it. And maybe this now here the network and connection happens, and it helps you to grow.
That's true.
That will be a really use of your words such like networking, collaboration. So collaborate your neurons with other neurons. Network. Talk. The neuron, there should be a neuron talk.
Nice. And sometimes what happens also is that, coming into this particular, sometimes people are like, I'm very uncomfortable, having a conversation. Like, and I was talking to a friend of mine. He's like, yeah, I love the way you speak to people because you're not afraid of asking them questions. They seem very comfortable talking to you. And I don't think I can ever do that. And I'm like, it's okay because that is my comfort zone. I can go into a room full of people and, I don't need to know anyone. But when I come out, I'm for sure would know at least 20-30% people minimum out of it. If not all, I'll make sure that at least I know that many people by then end. So when I'm leaving, they're like, that was Kabir and I met this person at this particular place. So what I told that person was that you need to start doing it because what will happen when you go out of your comfort zone? And this is a literal scenario that I told them, like when you go out of your comfort zone, your activity and your thought process is going to change completely. The reason behind it is because you're forcing your brain to do something which is it's not allowing you to do. Like for me, I would say sitting in a roller coaster is a big no-no. Like vice versa, my wife loves it. She's like, she's like, only thing I hate about you is that I cannot go to a roller coaster, a theme park with you because you won't sit on a roller coaster. And what will I do by sitting alone? So that is something which really, I think, helps in this particular thought process of getting out of your comfort zone is very important. True. So not only this will help connecting and networking with other neurons, but it will also help you unveil things or potential that you thought you never had.
Absolutely.
Right? So that kind of really creates a lot of work into this particular manner.
See, listening is also equally important. When you are talking, I'm listening. I'm talking, you are listening. The audience are listening. If we both try to speak, it will be a machi wala.
I love it.
So listening is also a very good skill, which we need to develop that.
Right.
So there are a lot of, I recall one classic story which I've heard it. My mother told me a long time back. Your eyes see, let's say there is a farm and there's a mango tree. Okay, your eyes see the mangoes. Okay, your tongue sees, I have to taste that mango.
You have to have the mango.
Your legs start walking towards it. Your hand starts to grab that mango. And in this process, the owner sees you and he comes with a stick.
Steal your mangoes.
He comes with a stick and he hits you at the back. And the tears come from the eyes.
Right.
Now, if you see the whole process, The eyes have washed. The tongue gave this thing that now we want this. So there is a connectivity. See the connectivity.
Right.
Then the legs start moving. The hands try to grab it. And बेचारा वो उसका कुछ दोष नहीं था.
वो मार खाया.
वो मार खाया. And ultimately the final, who thought that we should go,
started crying.
So where it started, it ended there only.
The full cycle of karma that we're talking about. I absolutely love that. It's great. This brings me to a thought process. Like, how strong is your so we're talking about conscious brain right now, like what you spoke about, like seeing the mango, going towards it, getting beaten up unfortunately, or not getting caught and enjoying the particular mango. और वो पता है ना, वो mango खाने में ज़्यादा मजा आता है.
Right.
Because you didn't get caught and you had that wonderful mango. That's a sad side that you got caught. But that's a conscious brain that we're talking about. Like coming to the topic of the subconscious brain, which is also a very powerful mindset that we have. Like a lot of people, अपन अपने conscious brain को consistently work करते हैं. Like we are reading, we are having this podcast, we are watching a podcast. We are going out with friends, playing cricket and all. How do we train subconscious brain?
Lovely. Very wonderful question. And today we all need to train that brain. Because now, while talking also, consciously talking, subconsciously we might be thinking that, okay, वो बैंक का हुआ रहेगा कि नहीं, my payment आया क्या? So we are subconscious brain is complete to be 24 hours working. It doesn't sleep.
Right.
Your conscious brain sleeps. Your subconscious brain does not sleep. So you need to train your brain. So one powerful technique which I personally use it's not that easy. But again, if each one of us try, I tried this 5 minutes not to talk. I started with this. 5 minutes not to talk with anybody.
Okay.
And not to judge anybody. So 5 minutes, just sit idle. Maybe keep your eyes open. Better to keep eyes open so that you know what is happening and not to judge. Suppose you bend down. I should not judge. Why have you bent down? It's a normal process. So this takes a lot of time to first stop judging.
Right.
Then I started with 10 minutes. Today I have reached around 45 minutes.
Wow.
After long years, it's not that easy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's said is very easy.
I'll have to start with 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Because that'll be difficult for me.
Not to judge. The
Right.
moment you judge, you stop. Again, your
Start
time
again.
starts. Time starts again.
Yeah, it's like telling me that don't think about monkey, and only thing I'm gonna think is about monkeys.
Absolutely. Because we are so prone to judge. The moment we get up, we start judging.
Right.
The way the other person talk with us, we start judging. आज मेरा दिन अच्छा जाएगा कि नहीं? My wife said, "Chalo, come on, fast, you get up." अरे यार सोने दो ना.
Right.
Why are you behind me? Today I don't want to do anything. But she does not know. And late night, I only told her, wake me up 7 o'clock.
Okay. She's doing what you asked her to, but okay, completely understand that part. So this helps training your subconscious brain. I came into, so I'm so glad that we had this conversation because in my previous podcast that I had with Praveen Nair, he's a hypnomentalist.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful person, and we had this conversation about. So he shared a story about a female who was undergoing some kind of operation. Okay, where she was unconscious, of course, while the doctors were operating her, and one doctor said to another one, said she will never be the same.
Oh.
After the operation was completely successful, she was completely healed, everything was normal, but she was not the same anymore. She went into a heavy depression, and nobody would not know what happened. Doctor even did not know what happened. Because when they kept on checking her, doing the tests and all, they were like, everything is normal, there's nothing wrong with her. Then, of course, the psychiatrist came and played the role, right? The psychiatrist eventually realized that, she had heard the doctor say to another doctor that after the operation, she will never be the same again. But doctor was shocked because she was unconscious. And then she had heard that subconsciously. So, how can that work in such a high power that she actually changed?
See, here there is, again, what I feel is your subconscious brain is more active, right? It accepts. Now, consciously, if I tell you that we both can fly, you will say, "Arey Sushant, क्या बात करते हो?"
कुछ भी बोल रहे हो.
कुछ भी बोल रहे हो. But subconscious mind, if it accepts it, we will find ways and we will start doing it. See a child, he accepts everything. सूरज नीचे से आता है, he'll accept it. हाँ, दिखाओ. And we play some trick. हाँ यार, सच्ची आता है.
Right. Yes.
So acceptance is very important. So after the age of 8, 9, our logical brain starts developing.
Right.
And there we say that you're playing a crank on me. Right. So your subconscious mind needs to accept Now there are certain things that, have you heard that people can see beyond this wall? Right?
I had came across that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's called as midbrain activation.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
Actually. But again, acceptance is more important.
Right.
So if you do that, it will not work with people who are above 10, 12.
Acha, above 12. So
Because you not accept only. No? If I can say that I'll put a hand on your head and you'll be able to see this. I'll show you magic. But you have to accept that.
Right.
So there are certain things which acceptance is very important. So your subconscious mind should accept it and should be ready to perform it. Let's take example of flying.
Right.
So when your subconscious mind, when birds are flying, why can't we?
Right.
There is certain, when airplane is flying, such a big weight. Our weight is between 50 to 100, 120, 150. See the air flight weight. If that can go up, why can't we?
Or the ship can float.
So there where the innovation starts.
Right.
The research starts on that.
Okay.
And today you see there are certain equipments which have been there. We can fly.
Yeah, absolutely we can.
So that process has to start.
Right.
So your subconscious mind needs to first accept. Second, understand what needs to be done.
Okay.
Third, needs to carry out an activity and gather equipments or tools through which we can start the research.
Okay. To get into that acceptance zone to, okay, I can fly. Right. But if not just, flapping my arms, but making a device and which would go into that. Okay.
So the fourth thing, creating certain things.
Right.
Failure, again creating, again failure, again partial success. So like this only, if you see the Wright brothers who create the aeroplane, 12 years. If you have read a book, it's a fantastic book.
Okay.
They have mentioned that 12 years people were laughing, literally laughing at them. Are ye do bhai aage dekho, now they will do it and they will tell. And today everybody knows them.
Exactly.
And today they have created history. So I always say that mad people create history. If you want to create history, you have to be mad. Yeah. And I love people calling me mad.
Absolutely.
Because I'm here to create history. I'm here not to read history.
Exactly. I can respect that. But coming to the factor where you said that, because we come into the logical brain starts playing, right? So now you're already at 10, 12. Now, can a person I'm at the age of 35 right now. So can I start believing and change my subconscious thoughts?
Yes. See, again, it's your belief system, what you believe.
Okay.
Now, if you believe that you are a genius, you will start operating in that manner. Normally, what you अरे मैं तो कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ, ये तो मेरे से नहीं जमेगा. So they have already believed. I'll share a classic example. When I take my UPSC class, I ask them the first question: how many students appear for UPSC, and how many of you are going to pass UPSC? So a few say that confidently, I'm going to pass. Okay, so what will be your rank? I said, nay, I will come this. I want exact rank. I will be first, I will be second, I will be third. If you are so confident, then nobody can stop you from that rank.
Right. Yeah.
Because so many students, they are also, if the UPSC who comes first, he is also studying 18 hours a day. Who fails also studying 18 hours a day.
Just a thought process.
It's a thought process. It's a strategy. It's the way you believe system. It's the way you are confident in yourself. Hoga to hoga. Hoga to hoga. Now only you're filled. Don't study. Don't waste your time.
Go all in.
Go all in.
I'm loving the fact that how we're talking about our subconscious mind, but then somehow we're also talking about law of attraction from the secret.
See, I tell them that there's no word like I tried to pass UPSC. ऐसा होता ही नहीं try. So afterwards, after a few years, what you'll say, sir, I tried, sir, हुआ नहीं.
Yeah.
Either you do it or you don't.
You don't do it.
I will do it. I will crack UPSC.
Right. Absolutely.
So even if you don't crack it, the structure which you have built in that, if you're passionate into doing it, you are not less than the IAS officer. Only that post is not there.
Not there, yeah. Absolutely.
But you are that competent as an IAS officer. If you really put your all the efforts. I have seen a lot of my students. There are some students who have cleared. Some students have not reached there. But if you talk to them, you will come to are you an IAS officer? Or are you a big position? So the way they talk, the way they present, that makes a huge difference. Whether you are an IAS officer or whether you're not, that doesn't matter.
But your thought process, the way you have trained yourself, has changed. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. How much does subconscious mind does play with visualization and the law of attraction that we are talking about here? Like how you said that कि अगर मैं बोलूँ हाँ मैं करूँगा, then होने ही वाला. It's like thinking about यार what मैं निकल रहा हूँ, shit, I'm late. So what happens then when you get out, you start the गाड़ी start नहीं हो रही है, or when you चलो गाड़ी start हो गई, when you're starting, every single traffic light is turning red. That is when you're late, right? And when you are on time, you're like, oh, I don't care. अगर आज मेरे को ट्रैफिक लाइट सारी की सारी रेड मिला ना, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं, मैं आराम से बचना है। Everything you get into, it's green.
See, it's a matter of a strong 100% belief. Even 1% is there, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I'll share with the three, four experiences which I had. You know the Virar train,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
so
God.
one day, 100% I said that मेरे को तो आराम से चढ़ने को मिलेगा. I'll not get this. 100% conviction. That day did not came again. That day did not came again.
There is a very strong conviction. Getting on a Virat train.
And believe me, I just bumped into the train and nobody was there. Just if it's a one hand, nobody was there.
Oh,
I bumped it like a royal fellow. I entered into the train,
Virat train.
and there the crowd came after me. And that day was only one day. I tried it afterwards several times. It didn't work because that 100% conviction was not there.
I wasn't there. Yeah,
if you had a 100% conviction,
I think, at that point you have to use 100% of your brain power to find a space in a Virat train.
I can give you n number of examples.
Right.
One of my very close friend, Zenobia Ba.
Okay.
Her son, she shared an example that he wanted to drive the car, and Ba said, no, not to drive. You are driving to this thing. I'll not give you a car. And he was so convicted, 100% conviction that nahi, mere ko car chahiye. That day, one of his family friends, they said that we are going abroad. Can you keep the car at your place? So he got a car. The second, her neighbor, there was some construction work going on. He said, can you please park my car in, because the construction work is going on. Can you please park my car over there? And the third, one of their family friends came. That car also came. So three cars came in that single day.
Choose kar lo.
I was so happy that I wanted that car to drive. Their car was, I think, somewhere for this thing. It was not servicing or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hats off this conviction that 3 cars popped in.
Great. So, this is so interesting how it's working out. How does, so again, coming to subconscious mind is such a powerful topic that we have here. We spoke about how you can train it, how you can use law of attraction to kind of visualize getting into the Virat train. Try it at your own risk. It's a very, very, you're going to have to use 110% of your brain for that.
True.
But, the third part that I want to talk about is that, we're coming into the life, which is, I think the word stress has become a norm. So, आज की तारीख में, अच्छा, तू stress नहीं है? सच में? क्या करता है? Meditation करता है, So, coming into the meditation part, how much it's important for you to meditate, to calm your mind? Because I think you mentioned that, you started with 5 minutes of being, technically it was a way of meditation, but much more harder because you have your eyes open. And when you have your eyes open, you're always going to analyze things. When it coming into meditation, you're completely in your zone, in your headspace, your heart, your thought, your breath, everything is into the piece of spirituality there. How much does that help you to grow your subconscious mind? And can one really change their life a lot if they start practicing meditation?
100%. Now, see, my perspective is a little bit different about meditation.
Okay.
Now, I feel that now the talks which we are having, it's a meditation for me because I'm relaxed. What is meditation? Is relaxing your mind, right?
Yeah.
So I'm relaxed.
Right.
I'm enjoying the talks with you. So this is a meditation. So this is one part. The second part is, as an activity, I do a meditation. I sit calmly, I close my eyes, I take in breathe, take out, leave out, and think that I should not think. Which is not possible.
Right.
At many times, the activity which you do meditation, and then you remember that, अरे यार, उसको तो call करना ही रहेगा.
Yes.
So are you doing meditation?
Or
are you in that thought process?
Right.
So are you really focusing on your meditation? So most of the time, in most of us, as a corporate or professionals or as a student also, we don't get 100% to meditation. So the model A, which I mentioned, now I'm 100% into meditation.
Because you're doing something.
My phone is on silent mode. I'm talking with you. We are having a wonderful podcast. So 100% I'm here. I'm not thinking कि मेरा payment आया कि नहीं. मेरे वो student का उसने अभी 10th standard का exam है. उसको मैंने ये बोला था उसने भेजा कि नहीं. I'm not thinking about that. Because I know that I have to after this podcast, I'm going to, as it is, going into my normal mode.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so if it does help, but then you should do it with your whole heart. Again, with the 100% of what you should put it into.
Right.
Great. Let's talk a little bit more about you. So you're a doctor. So you can operate on brains and everything.
No. I'm not a medical doctor.
You're not a medical doctor. I'm like, because
otherwise the phones will start coming.
Okay, cool.
So I'm
cool.
basically into, we have designed some techniques, tools. I have my 2 copyright techniques.
Okay.
I have written 3 books.
Okay.
And I have my 35 students who have created world records.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And,
Please enlighten me more on it.
Yeah, I have 2 students whom I have helped them in creating their copyrights.
Okay.
I help students in writing research papers, innovations.
Okay.
So I'm more into creating students' profiles.
Okay.
Students can be professionals, so I put them into students tag.
Okay.
So one needs to create. So tomorrow I see that the word a few years back, the term had come survival of fittest.
Okay.
And now the new term which has come, new word has been added, survival of only the fittest.
Oh, wow. Okay. Only the fittest. Okay. All right.
So when you say only the fittest, are you that only?
Right.
So
Can
if
you
your
be that
profile,
only?
yes.
You can be that only. Okay.
So if so, I'm into that process of creating that only,
Okay.
wherein how you can create your profile, because as I said, everybody is a genius. I see in that angle only.
Right.
I don't see that, oh, this person cannot do this. This is not possible for him. This will be. You should not go in this field. If that person wants to enter that field, who am I to say that don't enter this field? Why I am judging him? Who am I to judge him? Who are the assessment tools to judge him? I'm making a very bold statement that assessment tool should not also judge any person based on the things, because what I have found that when somebody does the assessment process, what temperament he has, that also matters.
Right.
There I've seen students just go on taking A, one answer A, 2B, 3C, then again A, B, C. What assessment you will get?
But this assessment can also be influenced by maybe a Marvel movie that the kid has watched. Right?
Yes.
Like, yes, he's like in love with
Absolutely.
Captain America and he's
Absolutely
writing
right.
those things.
Absolutely
Okay.
right. So the answers can be influenced by movies,
Right.
by some role models. So one needs to know exactly. It's not that easy to know. It takes time, and we should give that time for each individual.
Right.
Because what happens normally, people, mostly parents, judge with the other children. He's an engineer. He's a pilot. He's a prestigious position. You also have to be in a prestigious position. He's earning so much.
Huh.
I always give my example in this factor also. I also, as a parent, I'm also a parent. I also said that, see, he's earning so much. What are you doing?
हाँ वो डॉक्टर है
Right. So as a musician, I also tell him, चलो मेरा contact है, I'll put you in there, and there he will give you some opportunities.
Understood.
So my son said, Dad, you don't worry. I am passionate about music. I love music. I will eat music. I will drink music.
हाँ.
Money is different factor.
Yeah.
Money will follow. I'm not
That
worried
is a
about money.
byproduct that will automatically will come.
I'm not worried about it. The moment he has told this, I have not connected him with any of my connections.
Wow.
So he said, I will check. I will find, suppose he meet you, if I find Kabir to be the best, I will stay with Kabir in his house. I'll see to it that I learn from Kabir and go from you.
Right. Right.
So he said that I will decide whom to meet, whom to connect, because he has his own thought process. Because musicians and all this creative, they have their own creative artists.
Exactly.
They have their mood, they have their temperament.
Complete different thought process. Complete different thought.
Because I'm also complete into creativity. So
Yeah.
I have my complete different thought process. So sometimes at late night, 3:30, I wake up, I have my idea book.
Okay.
So I write down that idea.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what's the time, whether it's morning time, evening time, ideas can pop at any moment. And we
absolutely.
all have wonderful ideas. We all. There's no one on this earth who does not have ideas. It's only thing what we do with those ideas.
And if you're thinking logically or with belief, because sometimes it's like, "Arey, nahi, nahi, to possible ही नहीं." I think for me, starting this particular podcast was like a thought process of passion, and I think my wife really pushed me into it. कि नहीं, you know what? You should do it. No, you should do this. करते करते now we're doing this.
There should be somebody to push you. There should be somebody to, let's say, lead you. There should be somebody to, let's say, come with me.
Absolutely, absolutely. वो करते करते आज 9th episode पे हम लोग आ गए.
Wonderful.
And I wasn't even sure that something ये मैंने बोला अच्छा चलो अपन एक दो try करेंगे. And then
Superb.
I think avenues eventually kept on opening because this is something I absolutely love to do. Like
And that reflects when you talk. That reflects. You don't have to tell it's my passion. People say, "Is this your passion?"
Right. It is indeed. I can completely understand and respect that. But bringing this particular thought process where, how you said that parents right now, I think this assessment thing is a very new thing where a lot of parents are doing it to see.
No, they should see. I'm not against any assessment or the tools are wonderful. People should use it.
At least to understand the kid,
Yes.
they can do that.
So there are different phases. So you need to understand your child better. So once you know, once you have assessed it, then find out what are the things he can do, what are the things he need to learn? Is he ready to learn? Or you can support him. You can tell him the importance of learning. So see, everybody does not know that how important it is at that moment of time.
Right.
Later on, they come to know.
Right.
Now I have learned German for a specific reason. So at that time, I did not know the importance of languages.
Okay.
Today, I can speak eight to 9 languages.
Oh wow, really?
Because I got passionate. I got to know the importance of that. So when you know the language, the way you speak, the way the other person connects with you,
right,
that makes a huge difference.
Okay.
When I was in Egypt and Dubai and Lebanon, when I used to speak with them in Arabic, they used to feel that okay, there's a strong connection with them.
Right.
I got a standing ovation in the classroom. I just narrated 1 to 10.
Oh, really?
I got a standing ovation.
Yeah, because you connected on to their level of thought process. आज ऐसा होता है ना, फॉरेन में जाके हम किसी से हिंदी में बात कर लेते तो ऐसा लगता है अरे आप इंडियन हो. So वही connection ही अलग बैठ जाता है at this point. या फिर अगर if a foreign person comes and he starts to speak in Hindi, it blows your mind.
I love learning language. Now presently I'm learning Spanish.
Okay.
And my target is by December I'll complete it.
Wait. So you are 18 with 3 decades of experience and you're learning a new language now. How is that? Is that even possible? A
Yes,
person
why not?
can learn a new language at any age.
Yes, any age. Age is not a bar.
You have to tell us how.
See, biologically you are growing, but mentally you can decide.
Okay, it's up to you thinking of your
it's
own.
growing. Today I'm 53. Next year I'm going to 54. Next year 55. You can't stop
You
it.
can stop it, yeah.
But my mind age, can I stop it? As I said that whenever I go in any classroom, I ask the age. Okay, what is the age group? What is minimum 12? Oh, good. I'm younger than you.
I love it.
I'm 11 with 4 decades of experience.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So
Great.
that's completely up to you.
But is there some trick that it is to learn a new language at any age?
Yes, there are certain
I would
techniques.
love to learn Spanish.
There
something
are,
like that.
and my target is by December I'll complete, and then I'm going to start Kucha.
What is that?
Kucha is in Spain. There's another language. It's called Kucha, which is being spoken.
Okay. Oh wow, something new I learned.
So this my trainer, I got it on a site called Polygons.
Okay.
Polygons is a site where like-minded people come together. Let's say I teach you Spanish, you teach me English. So we exchange. So I'm teaching him English, he's teaching me
So
Spanish.
you're doing practically learning things.
Yes.
Okay. What is it again? What's the website?
Polygons.
Polygons. Okay, great. We'll make sure to put it up on our description so people.
There are a lot of groups. There are wonderful groups. So here, as if we were talking about technology and the neurons.
Right.
So there is a strong connection between neurons and technology.
Okay.
So if you use the technology to the best of your ability, your neurons will get highly charged. Your mobile also requires charge, right?
Right.
So why don't you charge your neurons
Right.
with a lot of information which are important, which can help you to move forward?
Okay.
There were previously in my school days, we had that this one. We used to, I don't recall right now. We used to exchange the stamps.
Yeah, I think it was the letters, right?
Yeah, letters, right?
Absolutely.
Perfectly.
Yes.
So I had a
The
lot
letter
of
friend. It's called.
pen pals.
Pen pals. Yes. I thought it was called letter friends. Yeah, but pen pals. Yes,
Pen pals. I had a lot of friends.
Mm.
I used to write letters. I used to send Indian gifts. They used to send those abroad gifts,
Wow.
which we have never seen.
Right.
They used to tell about their culture, their festivals. So a lot of learning. Now I don't find, means I may be not there.
I mean, you can always go to Facebook and do it, but you don't know if the person is real or not.
Yeah, true.
It's become the identity is a more crisis that has become right now.
True, it's very difficult today to judge.
Right, absolutely. You know, that's
There are a lot of
crazy.
fake messages which are coming up.
Uh-huh.
I accept them and I tell them that this is what I feel about you.
Yeah. You
And
might have to send a questionnaire to them.
yeah, true.
It's like, first fill this out. I'm going to judge according to that. The logical part comes
No,
in.
but if you just communicate on Facebook also for a few times, no, you come to know the genuinity of the person.
Yes.
Automatically it reflects the way they speak, the way they start the conversation. It starts from the conversation.
Right.
Hi, dear. You come to know from which background they are, from what exactly they want to put forward,
Exactly.
and how they want to put forward for as a friend, as a professional, as a just for a time pass.
Right.
So all types of people are there,
Yeah, until they're asking
and
for money.
we should respect that.
Until unless they're asking you for money, I really need money. Be careful, make friends, but be careful.
True, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. You know, so this okay. You know, this is so interesting right now. We spoke about how it is important for them to study and learning a new language. We spoke earlier about the kids into having to learn more about the academics, how stressful it is. So that's
The competitive exam. There are a lot of competitive examinations coming. How they need to put forward. They are really putting 100% is important. Try means 99% you're putting.
Right.
That 1% you are leaving it for होगा तो होगा.
हाँ, luck के ऊपर हो
So
जाता है.
I always say that I in my dictionary there is no. I have deleted that word try and I have deleted the word warranty.
Okay.
Either I guarantee or I say that it's possible नहीं. अब दूसरे के पास जाओ.
Understood.
If I take it, I take it and I complete it.
Okay, so you make sure that
No
they reach
matter
to
what. No matter
the
what.
results that they're looking for.
Because I value the money which they pay.
Absolutely.
Because it's a hard-earned money.
Right. So we truly agree about how the meditation works and how people can utilize it to grow. Coming back again to your topic, as you know, you said that you're not a medical doctor, but what made you come into neuroscience, and
Okay.
what made you choose this particular field?
So just to make a big story short, so after my graduation, I started, as everybody starts, with corporate jobs. So I started with corporate jobs, but somewhere I was not enjoying the jobs. Then I shifted to side by side. I shifted to training also. I used to train Cyprus, Germany, and Jaro, Russia students on different topics. And one of the topic which was given to me was entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And I said, I'm into job and you're telling me to teach entrepreneurship. And they said, no, sir, you teach this also topic, you take it. So there somewhere I felt that I'm not doing justice. And at the back of the mind, I also had that I need to change and start my own. But I was not sure what to start. And then there was a hot SAP. SAP at that time, it was very hot. There were a lot of job opportunities, a lot of consultancy assignments.
So what's SAP?
SAP is System Application and Process.
Okay.
SAP is the name of the company from Germany. And this is an exam wherein I invested about 3.5 lakhs and started studying on it. The main criteria was if you are corporate experience of around 2 years, you can clear SAP. It's not that difficult.
Okay.
So 12 of us, we joined together at the same institution, and some of them were not from corporate background. So I started them, helping them into corporate, and this was, so for me SAP was a easy cake. And fortunately, I had 3 opportunities: one in India, one in Dubai, and one in London.
Okay.
They said that you do SAP, and it was very high paying job. You do SAP, you clear the examination, send us the results, I'll take you in the company, because they were my friends.
Right.
And they were at a very high position. They said that you just pass this examination, come. We cannot just take you like this. So the opportunities were before I even appeared for the examination.
So you already know that doors were open.
These were open for me, and I was very happy. यार मैं पास होने वाला हूँ और ये चलने वाला है. And this 11 people, I trained on them on how to do this corporate structure. They were not much aware about it. The day of examination came. 9 cleared. Myself and one more fellow, we failed.
No way. Wow. Okay.
The passing was 70. I got 68.
Oh, okay.
And then I said, okay, how is it possible? So maybe that time it was, there was a reason also I identified later on. I gave that examination, and it's not possible for everybody to clear the examination. And I cleared it 10 minutes before.
Okay.
I was so fast in all the answers. And that 10 minutes changed my entire life.
Okay.
So that 10 minutes which were remaining, I again went to all the answers and I changed the answers. The first time I listened to my brain, the second time I listened to my heart. नहीं ये नहीं हो सकता, ये B का C कर दो. And I think that was my turning point.
Okay.
And there were negative markings.
Okay.
So I got down to 68.
Okay.
And I said, okay. Then I got to know that this is my mistake. Next time I'll not do it. Again, I paid 25,000. I paid for the next examination also. I said, अभी तो इसका सुनने का नहीं, सिर्फ दिमाग का सुनने का. जो दिमाग बोलेगा बराबर डालेगा. And I landed up with 64.
Oh no way! You got down. बोले दिल का ही better था.
I said, now I have, all money is all gone. I have spent all the money. I am bankrupt. I don't have any money. But my all good friend, they said that no, you sit for the exam. There were only 3 options.
Right.
Three
tries.
3 tries you got.
Right.
My friend said no, said. But I was out of it. I said no, I don't want to get into it.
Okay.
One good thing what I learned from that day is whatever happens from it.
Right.
The second time when I failed, for 1 minute I really felt very bad because I spent a lot of money. And it's not that difficult that I will fail.
Right.
And I have taught all these people. 9 have passed.
वो ego hurt हो जाता है.
Ego hurt हो जाता है. And those people who did not have C का corporate C का C भी experience नहीं था. उसका exactly 70, 72 मिला. Passing was 70. Passing was 70. And now these friends are in US, Switzerland. They are settled over there. I said, मेरे को जॉब था, लंदन में जॉब था, दुबई में था, इंडिया में था. It's my option to wish to select.
Right.
तो तीनों ने बोल दिया भाई साहब आप इंडिया में ही रहो and don't get into SAP.
Well, I'm glad that because now you're here and you're doing such a wonderful work with Brain Rhyme, right?
So there I felt that I think this is not my cup of tea, and I said I should do something else, which is related to education, because as I told you, I got my mentor wherein he mentioned that corporate lifestyle and structure of working and for one organization, you're not fit for that. You are fit for the masses, not for the classes. So then I thought that what next I should do. So I did a lot of research, and I came to know. Then I thought for myself. Now we all, as a student, that we face difficulty. Are there any such tools which are available, which can help children to learn the aspects?
Right.
At that time, this visual auditory, whatever we discussed,
I think you were still in the discovering phase.
Right, discovery phase. I didn't know all this.
Right.
So then one of my mentor only introduced to my first mentor. So my first mentor, Mr. Dilip Tikle sir, who told me that leave this and come into education.
Okay.
He only introduced me to my second mentor, Mr. Vikrant Safekar,
Okay.
through whom I learned all these techniques.
Understood.
And Vikrant is a wonderful person.
Okay.
He was in London and he created a technique called musical windows,
Okay.
which is now being globally used.
Okay. What is that?
Musical windows as music, sare, gama, pa. So connecting alphabets with numbers and creating a words out of it. So converting numbers into images.
Nice.
And believe me, it's a wonderful technique.
sure
I would love to teach. After this, maybe we'll sit and I'll teach you.
We'll definitely.
And this Vikrant taught me from the whatever his experience he put into the platform. And I was the first person from Maharashtra to attend the championship in Hyderabad.
Oh wow.
The national
Okay.
championship.
Right.
At that time, I was new to this championship also. So I attended. I had a very good experience. And I came back, and then we started a championship in India.
Okay.
So again, with Vikrant Safekar, I learned a set of techniques. Then through him, I met another Dr. Francis Xavier.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we have lost him 3-4 years back.
Oh.
At the age of 92, 93, he used to climb 20 floors.
Oh wow. Nice.
And as we were discussing about yoga and meditation, he was voracious. He used to practice it daily and regularly.
Okay.
Even I remember every day, even in flight, 3:30 used to get up and sit in the meditation position.
Right.
So that's why he was able to maintain all this.
All that, right.
And he was a fantastic person. I worked with him. I went with him at several places: Delhi, Chennai, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. We had 2-3 years. We did a lot of programs. So I learned a lot from Dr. Francis Xavier. He's called as the father of memory.
Oh,
If you
father.
Google him,
Okay.
you'll find him.
Okay.
And then I met my third mentor, Dilip Mukherjee.
Okay.
He's from Singapore,
Okay.
and he asked the secretary of the World Memory Sports Council that I'm going to India. I need a good partner to gel with him, and so they gave him 7 names, and out of those 7 names, he selected me.
One.
I'm his partner in India.
Oh, okay.
So I learned a lot from him. He has
Right.
written more than 50 books, and his books have been a part of the university curriculum in Canada and Singapore.
Oh, how nice. Okay.
He's only writing books, and before he writes the books, his books are sold.
How nice.
So I'm fortunate to get a very good mentors,
Wow.
fantastic mentors. They have given all what they have, and I'm also passing the same thing for the future generation.
Absolutely.
Whatever I have, I give it,
Wonderful.
because there's a lot of learnings. Because I feel that if we say a parameter or this algorithm of 100, I think I just know a few of them. I am yet to complete the complete algorithm.
You've just what do you call it? You've just scraped the iceberg.
Yes,
That's it. Okay.
there's a lot to learn in this field, but I'm so happy that I've learned so many techniques, and they inspired me also to put in my own techniques.
Into
So I have my 2 copyright techniques. So
Oh,
one
really?
is United Method, which I have created,
Okay.
and the second is I've created along with my student. It's
Okay.
not my only thing. Along with my student in Dubai and Singapore, we have created every number. We have created images. Let's say
Okay.
for number 1, it's a
Okay.
candle looks like number 1.
Right.
A pen is a number 1.
Right.
Like this, every number we have created minimum 3 images.
Okay.
So 1 to 100, we have 300 images.
Okay.
We are now in process of copywriting all the images. We'll be publishing the book, and it will be available for each one of us.
That's
Whether it may be a student, whether it may be a corporate, whether it's a senior citizen, everyone will require this. It will improve their creative ability.
Okay.
They will understand how this can enhance.
Okay. So how will that work? Nevertheless, like so, thinking of an image, so you know, okay, this is number 1. How would that? Can you give me a more?
Okay, let's say for example 33. So
Okay.
just 3 and 3. It looks like a butterfly.
Fair, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
3 and 3 can be a mountain.
Yes, okay.
So like this, we have you
Okay,
you
okay.
just put that 2-digit number and we have the image.
Okay.
It took a lot of time because it's a mode of creativity.
Understood. Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
So
I really,
snail can be 20 can be a snail.
yeah. Now I can.
So
imagine
here
that.
also in this room,
Right.
there are so many numbers.
Okay. So the
You
one
need
can
to have
actually
an eye
go
for
through that thing and figure out. So that makes them think in a different aspect of it, firing the new neurons as we spoke about
Right,
earlier.
right.
Great. Yeah, this brings me to a thing where you said that you come from a corporate industry, and of course we already discussed what kids can do to improve their memory and attention span. Um, is there something that they can do to enhance their academic performance as well?
100%. Because I say that every student has the ability to score 100.
Okay.
Only thing is whether what is their learning style,
Right.
what is their working style, how they want to put forward, what is their interest, passion. There are some students who are interested in math, some students are interested in science, some students are interested in social studies.
Right. But
So
like,
I'm
let's say if they're not, right? Like, for example, like we discussed that, for me, I think geography or history would be
Right,
like,
the same year.
oh my God, like,
I was struggling to get those marks in a blue pen.
right. I still suck at geography, it's like you don't even need to ask me where's where, and when my wife wants to make fun of me, she'll be like, okay, where is this? Like, she knows I won't be able to answer it. So what if the person is struggling through it? So see, now I'm really good at science, I'm okay at math, I'm really good at science, but what happens is, let's say I'm not good in geography. So is
Right.
there a way to enhance that performance?
Absolutely,
What,
absolutely.
what can one do there?
Absolutely. Again, see, we share the same thing. I was also very, very poor in social studies. History and geography,
Yeah,
I struggled a lot during
Right.
my studies. But after I gained the techniques, today I can confidently say that if you give me a 10th and 12th standard paper
Yeah.
of history geography, I can score very good marks.
Okay.
The reason behind it, now I have understood how to crack it.
Okay, understood.
The numbers, how to crack it. The geographical locations, how to crack it. So previously what was happening, my teacher was good. But
Right.
I was not able to understand how these numbers work, how these numbers connected to the events.
Right.
So now I know a strategy with the technique as how these numbers. See, again, I share with the viewers this technique
Please.
on how this can be done. See, now the numbers are abstract. Let's say you call it any number 94, 62, 36. These are just numbers.
Right.
And you have to just stick to that, and with a rote memory, you have to remember 36, 36, 36. I repeat it several times and then I remember. Right? And maybe in the examination, it twists. And I said, is it 36 or 63?
Yes, I know. I know exactly what it is. Yes.
So here the difference is. So here, if I 36, I create one word out of or image out of it,
Okay.
and 63 another image out of it.
Okay.
So now, if it is real, the answer is 36. I know this image. I'm connected with the event.
Wow. Okay.
So even if it is 63, I said no. That image I am not
Doesn't look
connected to the
together.
event. That is completely different.
Understood.
That might be a mobile, and this might be a pen. So I have connected with the event. I
Right.
know that pen means ye hai.
Understood. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm so confident
It's a
that this is
visual thing that is
36
getting
only,
into
not
it.
63.
How awesome. That's great. I really hope that you guys have got that, and I'm sure this is going to be a viral reel. Because it's a great way of thinking about it, because sometimes you just want to be like, okay, यहाँ पर ये है और ये so, like remembering landmarks.
Right.
Like, okay, so when I go here, this is where you think about Agra, you always think about Taj Mahal.
Right.
So it's kind of like that.
Right. So it's just like connecting the dots.
Right.
So you decide where is your next dot.
Right.
You make that line. And with that line, you create a picture. You create an abstract picture, and you name yourself. You name that whatever that abstract
Whatever
picture
makes
is.
you comfortable with that. Okay. Whatever makes you remember it. Oh,
Right.
wow. Amazing technique. I wonder what all you have in your pitara. That's awesome. So this is for students, for
Yeah.
academic purposes.
Yeah.
Coming to the corporate life, you have a long corporate journey that you did
Right.
before you started into this particular field of Brain Rhyme. How about the corporate people? Because see, I think students से ज़्यादा corporate life is much more difficult.
Absolutely, absolutely.
बच्चे लोग जो सोचते हैं, आप लोग सोच रहे हैं हम पढ़ाई करके फिर corporate जिंदगी जिएंगे, बेटा आज शांत हो जाओ, शांत हो जाओ. It's
Absolutely.
difficult.
Again, there is another story behind
Yeah,
it.
please.
So when I started with this, as I told you that I started, it was at that time the concept was very new.
Right.
So parents told me, sir, उसका exam खत्म होने दो, in vacation में आपके class को भेजूंगा.
हाँ.
So I said, why don't you try it before the examination? Because these are certain techniques which is going to improve the performance and marks of your child.
हाँ.
So why don't you try it before? So it took me a very long time, 3 to 4 months. to convince parents to do this program before the exams, not after the exam. This is not extracurricular activity program. This is inbuilt program to improve your performance and productivity.
Right.
So then they got convinced, and when they saw the results that a child who was having 50 and 60, he made it to 75.
70, 80 over.
Yeah, and those who were 80, they managed to go to 90, 92.
Wow. Okay.
So when they saw these results, the parents came to me and they said that, sir, there are certain 50% of this, we also have the same issues. We are not able to concentrate, we are not able to focus, we are dealing with numbers. So how to use that? Can you design a program for professional? Because at that time, these programs were only not there when I started all this.
Exactly.
And because I had a corporate experience, it was a piece of cake for me.
Okay.
So in the next 4 months, I designed a program for professionals.
So
I started taking programs for professionals, for homemakers.
Okay.
They have to remember the whole list.
Okay.
Because sometimes they say that I give my husband this list, but in bato mein he forgets. He leaves the list somewhere, and then he gives me a call. I've lost the list.
Photo nikal ke bhej.
So now, how to remember the whole list?
Okay.
Secondly, we as a corporate, we give a lot of presentations.
Right.
So a lot of time, what happens? See, this electronic gadget, we can't completely guarantee that they will work at the right time.
Exactly.
So maybe projector is not working, maybe laptop there is some problem.
Right.
There is no electricity, current only is not there.
Right.
So at that time, can I remember the whole presentation?
You cannot completely rely on.
So whatever I do, first I implement on me. So as I told you, I used to teach management students.
Right.
So then I implemented that. So there is 22 laws of management.
Okay.
So I created 88 slides.
Okay.
So first slide, the law. Second slide, explanation about the law. Third slide, about example. And fourth is a case study.
Okay.
So like this, 88 slides I created, and I memorized all the 88 slides.
Wow.
And I used to the presentation is running, I used to teach the students.
You're not even looking at the presentation.
And the students were zapped. Sir, how come you're not looking there? And you are just telling. And they used to, okay, tell me, sir, can you please explain the law of ladder? Okay, go to slide number 36. I'll start from there.
Oh, how amazing. Okay, so since you have given some tips for our wonderful kids to how to memorize things, how would you do this for our professionals? Please, something you have to give.
Okay. See, for professionals, we meet a lot of people.
Yes.
Right? Now, the first thing is, when we meet, let's say we are meeting.
Yeah.
Sushant. Kabir.
Yeah.
Then we have a long talk.
Yeah.
And while going, what we do?
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Forgot your name. Yeah.
The first thing, we don't register the name. How can I forget? So we are telling lie that we are forgetting the name. Don't forget the name. I'm not registered your name. So I'll tell you a small tip on this. So when we first meet and you introduce that you are Kabir. So during the conversation, if I ask you, hi, Mr. Kabir, where do you stay? Mr. Kabir, very nice atmosphere. It's very pleasant. Thanks for calling me Mr. Kabir. So 3-4 times repeating. Yes. So this is one of the way I am trying to capture your name. You're also happy. I am also happy.
Wonderful.
At the end of the day, Mr. Kabir, I'm moving.
Nice.
Bye. And you say that, sir, now next time you will not forget my name.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you a trick of mine. So I'm so happy about that because I do this for myself. This comes really handy in networking. I would call myself a great networker because I'm in this platform called BNI where we, all the individuals meet together. And so whenever I go networking, so whenever I meet you, so if I have met you, I would be like, hey, what's your name? Oh, Sushant. Sushant what? Mysorekar. Achha. Okay. So that is my point of remembering the name. So whenever I'm calling, right? So I have my friends, I will never call them with their first name. So I have Rahul, so I'll be like Rahul Satura. Like Rahul to Rahul Ved. I'm Ankit Arvind Jain. So I'm the only guy calling them with the whole name.
Wonderful.
And that kind of gives me, this is this person and this is what he does. That is how my way of remembering who the person I met, and if I remember their name, yes or no. And of course, that would be the second thing what you just said, that you keep on repeating the name again and again, and this is exactly what I do. And believe it or not, sometimes people find it very weird. Like, why are you taking my name again and again?
No, but again, the other person also feels good.
Absolutely.
Always his name is taken. He feels connected.
Absolutely.
And one more thing, what you can do is create a story out of it or create a scene, because our brain neurons love stories. Every day in and out, we are creating stories. We are telling stories.
Right.
We are narrating stories. So the moment you start with a conversation and you create an image of that person, that image stays, because here all the images are stored in the back of the brain.
Right.
And whenever you see that picture, the image automatically the image pops up in the screen in front of you,
in the front, yeah,
and then you
yeah.
are able to connect.
Or you can even find a particular trait about that particular person.
Yes. So there are so
That-
many tricks, so
then
many
you can
tricks.
do it that way. Yeah, because
I take a
it's
half a day
something-
session on names and faces.
absolutely. And I'm personally very interested in this pattern as well, because I love, again, like I said, you can put me in a room of unknown people and I would walk
Right.
out with people knowing me.
Right.
So that is one of the things that I personally do, or whenever I meet, I'm letting out a lot of secrets. Okay, so whenever I meet someone, a lot of people are like, "How do you just go and talk to them?" I'll always find a way to what I like about you, right? So I love the way that you're so confident. I'm like, you know what? I love the way you're confident, and the way I say it is because I believe that about you.
True. True.
And people don't seem to mind, and that's completely okay. So I'll tell you what happened yesterday. I was in a networking event, and I met this one guy. He was an angel investor, all right, and very few of the people come to a networking event who are angel investors, because always think about angel investor. What happens? You're thinking about a guy who's at a very high level, spreading money for everywhere, startups and bootstraps, right? And he was bald. It was like Vin Diesel bald, right? He had shined up his head and everything like that. And I went up to him and I'm like, I would say that your bald head looks really good, but I just noticed that you're an angel investor. So we both cracked up. Like he's like, dude, I don't know how you did that, but that was funny. And it helped me break an ice. And you can always find a way to either compliment someone, because nobody
Absolutely
will mind
absolutely.
that.
See, again, when we were discussing about attention,
Huh.
to grab the attention, see, normally people start with the name. See,
Huh.
we know that, okay, introduction means name se chalo jayega.
Right.
So if we do something different, that grabs the attention. So
Right.
normally when I go for a networking meeting and somebody tells me to introduce myself, so first I grab the attention and then I tell my name, because they should be attentive while listening my name.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
So I start like this. I have a one wonderful wife, 2 beautiful children, 3 running businesses. I am Dr. Sushant Mysorekar.
Wonderful. I think I remember that too. Sweet.
So with these 3 sentences, I've grabbed the attention,
Right.
and now they're ready to hear my name.
Exactly. Kaun ho aap? Right? I can relate to that. I think this is another topic that we can talk about in the next segment. How to go.
So connecting people is more important.
Important. Yes.
So what you say, how you present yourself.
Right. Right, absolutely. I think I am enjoying this conversation as much as I hope you are too.
Love
And I'm
that.
pretty sure our viewers are as well.
This is my meditation, as I told you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think somehow, somewhere, I think it's for me as well, because a lot of time I was actually unwell day before yesterday. I was actually in fever, and whenever I'm in fever, usually it lasts me like 3 to 4 days of time. And of course, the shoot was coming up, and Bhakti was very, she was like, "Oh my God, you got fever. How will you manage it? What will happen?" I'm like, don't worry about it, because I'm sitting in front of camera. You will not even know that I'm not well, because it's something I don't know. Sitting in front of camera is just talking to people. Doing this just makes me like, I'm in my relax.
As you mentioned, no, this is your passion.
Right,
Right?
absolutely.
The training is my passion.
Yeah.
So I recall when I was in Egypt, my session started in the morning at around 8 o'clock after the breakfast, and the whole day long the training was there. 6 o'clock I was back in my room, and there were some students who came, and there was some noise going on. So
Right.
I asked my organizer, what happened? What's going on? And they said, no, the just children wanted to be. I told them that you are relaxing. I said, what they want? So they were saying that, sir, we want one more session from you.
Oh, okay.
So I said, okay, let me wash my face and I'll come back. So 6:30, I was in the room. From 6:30 to 11:30, we had a great learnings and all this session went on. And because my flight was in the morning, I had to rush. And these students had taken off from their
different classes and
different classes.
all.
So right from 8 o'clock to late night,
You were
11:30, and I was
consistently
not at all exhausted.
Right.
I was as fresh at 11:30 as I was fresh at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's your passion.
And you have to follow your passion to do it. Exactly. This kind of brings me to a process where the chat that comes into it, right? Where you're following your passion, you're not completely exhausted. When I'm not well, but you will not be able to tell in front of a camera that, okay, this guy's not well and he's still doing a podcast. But how about the process this happens in this matter? Because we're aging, like you said. I think earlier before we were shooting, we were talking about how age will keep on going on, right? But how about the fact where your brain can still stay young? So there's a process that you were talking about, delaying the aging process.
Yeah.
And even for senior citizens. So
Right.
let's say if somebody's like, we spoke about KFC. And at 60 or 67, he thought about coming up with
Yes.
KFC. What is the way of us senior citizens of India or the world who as of right now feel कह रहे हैं हाँ हम तो बूढ़े हो गए, हम तो बूढ़े हो गए. Like अगर आप देखने जाओ, जैसे आपने बोले one of your mentors at age of 92, 93 was taking 20 stairs,
Right.
and 20 flights of stairs, so that's a lot. How can we make sure that our seniors as of right now can change their thought process, and is it even possible for them to change that thought process? बोले नहीं ये तो अभी ऐसे ही है, इतने सालों से बोले अरे अभी तो मैं 70 साल का हो गया, ऐसे ही है, तुम्हें तो थोड़ी चेंज कर पाएगा. Is there a way to change that?
See, your behavior, the DNA which comes through from the DNA, the behavior comes.
Okay.
So to change that behavior, it's not that easy, but at the same time, it's not that difficult also.
Okay.
Right? So the person who wants to change that, his belief system or his inclination, or we say na ye project complete karna hai. So if we give him as a project, I think that will make a difference. So we need to name something.
Okay.
Because see, every one of us are from different areas of life.
Right.
Everybody has been in different societies. Everybody has been in different culture, different friend circle, different family members, different thought process. To add one more factor, different way of taking the decision calls.
Right.
There are some today's children, everything is their mother and father is doing. So they don't bother about bank, whether I should go to the bank and do all these things. They're not bothered. Unless and until they get married and their wife pushes this thing, कि नहीं, now you have to look.
Right.
If she also says, नहीं daddy देख रहे हैं ना, हम लोग दोनों मजे करेंगे. Till 60, they will not know what is the bank is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So again, that factor which is there of inner ability to do something, or the responsibility, unless that doesn't come, it will not happen.
It will not happen. Like being a dependent or independent.
Right.
Matter, yeah.
Because there are how the 140 crore population, there are 140 stories, 140 different ways of doing it. But one thing which is common is the thought process.
Right.
So that can be changed.
The thought process can be changed.
Yeah.
In so change where they can lower their process.
It can be the influencers. Like you're one of the biggest influencers.
Thank you.
So when people listen to your podcast, they feel that yaar, I want to become like Kabir.
Right.
So influencers play a major role.
Right.
The movie stars play a major role. The sports person plays a major role.
Right.
There are different areas of what you can say, education platforms which are there. They play a major role.
Right.
So what exposure they get.
Okay.
Now tier 1 city, they get all the exposure.
Right.
So again, a confusion is also there whether I should be like Kabir or I should be like Shah Rukh Khan.
Right.
So again, confused. I want to be like both. How I can manage that? How can I manipulate what? That becomes again a confusion. Tier 2 cities, they have a different thing. They have limited resources.
Right.
Tier 3, they don't have any resources. They think how to manage without the resources. So again, based on where you are,
right,
how you are, how your parents' upbringing is there, the society around is there, and whom to listen or whom not to listen.
Okay.
Because mentor plays a very, very important role. Just like Google gives all the information.
Google Baba.
But Google Baba. But Google Baba का कौन सा बाबा का सुनना है, कौन सा बाबा का नहीं सुनना है. That you need to understand. If you go in the wrong path, you are going to lead along this thing. I always ask my MBA student, practice makes a person perfect. Is it right?
True.
They all say, yeah, it's right. I say it's wrong.
Really? Even I said true. Okay. Then what is
How can a practice make a person perfect?
You keep doing it. Repetition over the time.
So if you follow wrong practice,
that makes you worse. Okay.
So this can be now need to be changed.
Right.
Perfect practice makes a person perfect.
Okay.
Now all these proverbs need to be changed. There are a lot of proverbs need to be changed.
Absolutely. Because again, like I said, that thing is so deeply wired even in my brain that as soon as you asked, practice makes you. I don't think I even thought if I should say yes or no. It just naturally came true. But then, when you said that, wrong, because you could be actually doing that completely wrong. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's crazy. I might be doing that completely wrong.
Previously, as to in the beginning, practice makes a man perfect. Then children is a woman also perfect. So now I said person perfect.
That is true. I think we live in the era when the females are like rising, so absolutely. So yeah. So practice does make a person perfect if you're doing it correctly. So
perfect practice makes a person perfect.
The correct practice makes a person perfect. That's, oh my god, that's insane. Okay, so coming back to the fact that we were talking about the thing that how. So yeah, what can our seniors do? So slow down that aging process. Like lot of family members, even I have in my family as well, and I'm sure you do as well. They get अरे नहीं अब तो मैं बूढ़ा हो गया मतलब अरे भाई आप बूढ़े नहीं हो आप 101 साल जीने वाले हो.
True.
But then the thought process we are nailing it into our head that कि अरे नहीं अभी मैं बूढ़ा हो गया अरे मैं अभी 60 years का हो गया 70 साल का हो गया. So that makes it very difficult. So what can they do? Because we have given a tip and tricks for our.
See, it's a food for thought.
Huh.
So we need to build up that food for them right now. Because see what happens. There are people, because I talk about my father. My father, he worked in a private organization and retired as a senior manager.
Okay.
So the whole day from 9 to 6, he was implementing certain things. The thinking process was there, decision making was there, listening skills was there, his ability to explain was there. So now all these things were slowly coming to an end, right? As the age passes, these things are completely out, and then he said, "We are out of the market.
Right.
We don't know what to think because there is no project in hand." So here, if people from the family members can create some project for this is one way. Can create project
let
for
them be busy and do something that they
let them be busy. This is the key.
Again,
this is a buzzword.
Follow the passion now as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Passion, busy. These are the buzzwords.
Right.
The taglines which we put.
Exactly.
So let them be busy unless and until they are busy. Okay. Secondly, there are many who said, okay, my retired life ho gaya. I want to relax. Okay, relax. But at the same time, what you love to do,
right?
What you wish to do, which you would have not got time when you were working. So list down. If you can list down all those things, maybe from 100 things, there are 10 things which you feel, this 10 things now I will do.
Right, absolutely. So getting into
maybe traveling.
Yeah, when you said that retiring, right? So they have retired. In my previous podcast with Riya Gaukar, right? She's the energy alignment coach. Very similar concept. You literally just paraphrased it. What she says is that don't ever say that you're going to retire. You say you're going to redesign your life.
Wonderful.
Because what happens is that, like you said, start traveling, start doing something your passion, follow your passion. You never know, you might be the next KFC, right? But how will that happen if you sit and retire like me, you're not.
See, basically, there's what I have seen in because I have worked with many senior people, and they feel that whatever I have gained knowledge, they want to share. But whom to share? There is nobody to listen. They need an audience.
Right, absolutely.
So based on this, I did a live experiment I would like to share with the audience.
Please, yes.
So there was an institute in Vikhroli, and during the COVID times, there was a downfall, and but the students needs to be trained on that.
Okay.
So what we did, we said that in Vikhroli area, whoever senior citizens are there, we have a management student batch, we have a commerce batch, we have an academic batch, and if you feel that you can add value to it, you're welcome.
Okay.
And these are all senior people, and we welcomed all of them.
Wow.
The owner said, "I'm ready to give the traveling allowance or if they're too old, we can send a car."
Right.
But there was no remuneration for them. But they said, "We don't want a remuneration. We just want to come and share our
details." Right.
So those students got first-hand experience of those people, and they said, "This we would have not got it before if these people would have not come."
That's
true. 50 years of experience they are sharing in 4 hours, 5 hours. And that project worked out very well, and the seniors thanked us that we like other family members, we were not sitting, we were delivering,
doing something. Absolutely, that's amazing. That reminds me of one of my clients that I had then started my journey. They had come to, I had to go visit them. I think it was 75, 78. I'm going to try to see if I can get in touch with him again. He was a veteran in Air Force. And, when I went there, of course, that I like talking. So, and he felt so comfortable talking to me. I went there for, I think, hardly 10, 15 minutes of work. I was working with his son for some website project. And, I think 10, 15, I told Bhakti that I'll be back within the 30 minutes of time because he's just around the corner. I just have to go and talk to him about something. He wasn't there. His son wasn't there. Me and him spoke for 2.5, 3 hours, and Bhakti said, "What happened? You told me you were coming back in 30 minutes, 2.5 hours." And I went back home and I told her, "Hey, the sir was like a veteran of Air Force. And he was telling me how he shot down the plane, and he had I think he has some chakra as well. I think Paramveer chakra, if I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong. But something was that, and he was so excited to tell a stranger about his life story as an Air Force pilot." And that was so amazing, it's something what you just said, and that just clicked me right now. My neurons passed on the message.
I have a very strong connection with the name Dilip.
Dilip. Acha, okay.
Yeah, my uncle's name is Dilip.
हाँ.
My first mentor, Dilip Tikle. So all these Dilip, wherever we sit, we have a half an hour, as you mentioned, half an hour, it goes to 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Okay.
And that's a food of thought for next 6 months.
Right.
So with Dilip Tikle sir, he's when he comes to, we meet him, we go and meet at the middle. So he comes from Pune and we meet at Vashi.
Right.
We 4 of us, we meet, we discuss over a dinner. And this half an hour, 45 minutes, it takes us for 6 months.
Okay.
And we meet after 6 months for the next 6 months.
Next 6. Oh, but then you make sure that the 6 months worth of
Yeah,
talks is
so
done.
this is Dilip Tikle sir. Then I have director of Mumbai University, Dilip Patil sir.
Okay.
So with him also when we sit, we discuss all about academics, how we can improve and what this thing. And he is a person who is so passionate. Before he sat on that seat, there were just 3 colleges attached to the university. And after he came into that seat, there are around 343 colleges got attached to the university.
Okay.
See the difference.
Right, definitely, yeah.
So you can imagine the passion which he is carrying.
Hmm.
And my next mentor, Dilip Mukherjee.
Okay.
So all Dilips. And with all these Dilips, even a half an hour I sit, it takes me next 4 months to 6 months food of thought to give. So I'm fortunate. I'm very happy with this word Dilip. So anybody interests me a Dilip, I get connected very fast.
You might start getting a lot of messages from Dilips now. How cool. As we prolong towards our end of the podcast, I want to know the future of neuroscience, the neuro portal that we're working across.
Yeah.
Where are we headed towards it? Like like we had talked about midbrain. We spoke about how people can use different way of learning. We gave a lot of tips and tricks to our youngsters, our working professionals, our senior citizens. But what is the future? Is everybody is going to be a psychic by the time the next 5-10 years, that they'll be able to just touch the ball and be like, "Acha, iske piche ye hai." Or is it still going to be a longer amount of time? What is the future of neuroportal?
See, today technology is moving so fast. Every day a new software or application is coming up. There are new upgradations which are coming up. But what upgradation of this?
Right.
Your neurons. So as this technology is moving faster, we need to upgrade our skill sets.
Right, absolutely.
And this upgradation can only happen when we learn something new and which is valuable and which can be connected to the technology. Because as I mentioned, survival only the fittest.
Right.
So it's not only that if you know the technology, you're fit. You should also, along with the technology. So let's say let's take an example. I know technology, I'm a master into technology.
Right.
But I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to think beyond what can happen. Now, Nokia is a classic example.
Right.
They didn't know what is the future and they're gone.
Right.
Nokia is no more today seen. The same thing, if I know technology and along with the technology, I can visualize what next I can do,
right,
or can be done through some other things. So your thinking skills, your communication, your logical ability, your reasoning skills, your creative thinking. There are so many things which need to be combined together in a bundle,
right,
and needs to be connected with the technology. So technology on one side and this neuro skills on the other side. So the other side of the bundle, we are creating a portal wherein we will be putting forward not only for students, corporates, for senior citizens, for students who are or professionals who are appearing for competitive examinations. We are covering everything.
How about for specially able people as well?
We have not designed right now, because for every ability or this thing, exceptional skill, I call it exceptional skills, we have to design a lot of things. So that will be on the next phase.
So you guys are working on it?
Yeah, we are working on it. So right now we have started almost, it is completed. We are now in a pilot project.
Oh, great.
So pilot project will help us to understand what modifications we need to put forward. So we have covered the academics, we have covered professional skills, we have covered senior citizens, and this complete portal is in a form of story type, which everybody will enjoy. We all enjoy 2D animated movies.
Absolutely.
We enjoy 3D animations. So we have our animated characters who will explain all this and put it in a framework. We have created around more than 70-80 stories.
Oh, wow.
And we will be continuously doing this process. So this on one part, everyone will be able to understand based on his application, based on his whether he's a student, his professional working in banking sector, or maybe steel industry, or maybe pharma industry, whatever challenges they have. Let's say we are talking about the numbers. So we have neuro digit, we have neuro data, we have neuro AI. And another concept called quantum AI. So all these at one steps we are putting forward, and we want that people should learn this register the licenses and move forward so that they are updated with the skills, life skills,
Right.
along with the technology. Because these both the things are equally important.
And this also opens up a new avenue for careers as well.
Yes.
Because not everyone would understand, and if you're good at making them understand, then you can definitely. But then you cannot be completely dependent on it, right? Like a lot of people right now are dependent on ChatGPT. ChatGPT बंद हो जाता है ना तो ऐसा हो जाता है कि हमारे बाप रे अरे
Right.
ये नहीं use करो.
Right.
You know?
Now, wonderfully put up. Now, these videos or the thing which we have
Right.
done it, it's not only for one specific thing.
Okay.
Once you learn this technique, you can apply on different skill sets also.
Okay. Whatever
So
you like.
here we say that once you, let's say your child is in 7th standard,
Okay.
because we have started from 10 years and above.
Right.
So let's say 5th or 6th standard or 7th standard, and if you learn this, you take this license and you study this, you work on it. Next year, again, you don't have to take the license.
Right. Okay.
You can carry on the next year, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th.
Okay.
And we have created 24/7 support system.
Okay.
Because we want that as this neuroscience is expanding, every day we are also learning a lot of things. We
Right.
have a wonderful team. And this team is continuously working on that.
Okay. Okay.
We have a research team, we have an innovation team.
Consistently, content is being worked
Yes,
upon.
we have a world record team.
Wow. Okay.
We are now coming up with neuro championships.
Okay.
So those who are connected with us, we will be upgrading them with a lot of things. Not only neuro championship, the innovation, the research,
Right.
world records. There are a lot of summits, international conference will be putting forward.
Okay.
So they will be benefited with all these things once they come in the
And
a
this is
network.
into all one
So we
space
are
that
going
they
to create. We are willing to create a community of people
Okay.
who wants to expand their skills.
Okay.
Who want to really work on their abilities
Okay.
and create a niche and be unique.
Okay. Wonderful. The ecosystem, the only fittest. Right?
Only fittest. That's the key word.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Wow,
those
that's
who will be on our community will be the only fittest.
Right. So how can one join this particular community? Like,
Yeah. So we are now coming up with the portal.
Okay.
And we'll be sharing the links with you. So you can for the viewers who are listening to us, you can be on the portal.
Right.
You can take our lessons. We are now having an introductory offer.
Right. Okay.
So I'll share the links with you.
Yeah,
And
you can find those description in the description. I'll put it up for you guys so you guys can look into it. That's great. So they'll be able to find all the details about you.
Absolutely,
and everything that
absolutely.
is coming
And
across.
once they take the introductory offer, they can work on it. There'll be complete support.
Wow.
We'll be building up a community.
Okay.
So everyone will be a part of the community.
Right.
And we want that globally people should come forward, exchange ideas,
Right.
learn from each other, create an environment wherein the not only learning happens, but earning also happens, as well as your sharing also happens.
Sharing also happens. So you're getting the pen pals back together as a digital pals. right?
Absolutely.
So that will be something very nice to come across because I think communities are very much
Yes.
growing right now, anyways. And I think we all need to be part of some or the other community.
Yes.
I'm not talking about cult. Okay, I'm talking about a proper sophisticated learning community.
True.
Great. I think Dr. Sushant, I think we can. I don't know, for God knows how long we can consistently keep talking about.
I can go on talking about-
I'm having questions right now.
There's a lot of stories are in my
Absolutely.
packages.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I think
My 35 student, 35 stories. I can one day
We'll
fully
make that
put
for the
forward.
another podcast. I would really like to, be truly grateful to you for taking your time out and being here on kabirrvani and sharing so much of valuable knowledge and data that, and especially the tips and tricks that you taught me personally and taught our viewers personally, especially for the kids that they're coming across, the young professionals. And I really hope that you guys have gained a lot of insights out of it. And if you have waited all the way till this episode, till now, I know this was a bit longer than most of my episodes that has been. That means that you have really gained a lot of value, and I really appreciate you guys for being so supportive. I hope that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel at kabirrvani. You can follow me on Instagram at kabirrvani. I try to put some shorts and funny moments as well there. You can learn a lot from there too. For people who don't like to watch the full, you can watch my reels and shorts as well. And I really hope to see you again on the next episode of kabirrvani.